He was famed as the brutal Roman general who is said to have came, saw and conquered during his invasions. But exactly where Julius Caesar and his Roman legions landed in Britain has been a mystery until now. Archaeologists have pinpointed an obscure spot in Kent as the scene of the first encounter between Roman and ancient Britons. Pegwell Bay on the Isle of Thanet is believed to be where Caesar first attempted to land in 55 BC, and later more successfully in 54 BC. Now the site is more than half a mile inland, but at the time it was closer to the coast. The location matches Caesar's own account as it was visible from the sea with a large open bay, and was overlooked by higher ground. His army immediately built a fort on the spot, and the researchers, from the University of Leicester, claim to have found the spot where it was built. Iron weapons, including a Roman javelin, and pottery dug up at the neighbouring hamlet of Ebbsfleet overlooking the bay suggests it was a Roman base dating to the 1st century BC. The base was around 50 acres in size, and the main purpose would have been to protect Caesar's fleet that had been drawn up onto the beach. Roadworkers who found signs of a large defensive ditch led to the realization this was the likely spot where Caesar first set foot on British soil. The shape of the ditch was very similar to some of the Roman defenses at Alesia in France, where the decisive battle in the Gallic War took place in 52 BC. However, it is not known how big the channel that separated it from the mainland, the Wantsum Channel, was. The Wantsum Channel was clearly not a significant barrier to people of Thanet during the Iron Age, and it certainly would not have been a major challenge to the engineering capabilities of the Roman army. The last full study of Caesar's invasions was published more than a century ago. In the course of his Gallic Wars he invaded Britain twice, in 55 and 54 BC, but his landing sites have never been found. There has been some speculation that he landed 13 miles, 21 kilometers, along the coast at Deal. The first invasion, in late summer, was unsuccessful, gaining the Romans little else besides a beachhead on the coast of Kent. Caesar's own account of his landing in 54 BC backs the study which will be featured in BBC4's Digging for Britain tonight. As they set sail opposite the cliffs of Dover, Caesar can only be describing the white chalk cliffs around Ramsgate which were being illuminated by the rising sun. Caesar describes how the ships were left at anchor at an even and open shore, and how they were damaged by a great storm. He added, Caesar also describes how the Britons had assembled to oppose the landing, but, taken aback by the size of the fleet, they concealed themselves on the higher ground. This is consistent with the higher ground of the Isle of Thanet around Ramsgate. These three clues about the topography of the landing site, the presence of cliffs, the existence of a large open bay, and the presence of higher ground nearby, are consistent with the 54 BC landing having been in Pegwell Bay. It has long been believed as Caesar returned to France the invasions were failures and had no lasting effects on ancient Britons because he did not leave a force of occupation. The campaigns were short, so it was also thought there would have been few, if any, archaeological remains. But in Rome, Caesar's adventures in Britannia, in which he established treaties with local inhabitants, caused a sensation. At this time victory was achieved by defeating the enemy in battle, not by occupying their lands. Principal investigator Professor Colin Haselgrove, also of the University of Leicester, said, it seems likely the treaty set up by Caesar formed the basis for alliances between Roman and British royal families. This eventually resulted in the leading rulers of southeast England becoming client kings of Rome.